Now to campaign 2018 news on this Friday night. Of course, we continue our dinner time debates. And tonight we're live in Hartford at Black-Eyed Sally's. Our own Dennis House is talking with voters ahead of the election to find out what they think needs to change here in our state. Dennis, I would imagine they all have a lot to say.
They do have a lot to say, Mark. We've actually moved upstairs to the tenant of Black-Eyed Sally's called Pig's Eye Pub. It's also another long-time Hartford institution. And people are talking about what they want the next governor to do and how to improve the cities. With me now are three young professionals. We're going to talk with two of them, millennials you might call them. Ryan Riley grew up in Simsbury, and he's got some thoughts on what should the next governor do to improve the cities in Hartford. Yeah, well, the cities in Connecticut.
Yeah, well, being in Hartford, I born and raised in Simsbury, Connecticut. Went to school elsewhere in North Carolina, and I decided to come back. So Connecticut's definitely doing something right. That being said, Hartford has done a great job the past 5-10 years of bringing more younger people in, more, concerts, and, the new yard goats are really awesome, more kind of breweries and just things to do downtown, which is really nice to see. But there are still improvements to be made, I consider Hartford a vibrant city. Maybe not everyone does, and I think that's quickly changing, and I'd love to see that change at a more rapid pace. Yeah.
Well, let's ask one of your buddies here. Chris Pellegrino moved in here from Pennsylvania for a job in Hartford, and I know that as millennials like you look for jobs, you want the younger, thriving cities. Does Hartford qualify, and what should they improve here?
It does, and I think it's getting better. As I've talked to people at work, they just say, it's come a long way in terms of, housing downtown or things to do downtown. And so I think it's getting a lot better, and in the likes of West Hartford and stuff, there's plenty to do there. But we see a lot of vacant buildings, walking around, and we'd like to see, more things like Chipotle come into those places, for more things to do. A lot of places, like Panera Bread, I think closes at 3 p.m. on weekdays. For people who live downtown, that kind of stinks. But it's good to see, Yukon Hartford be put up over by Bears Barbecue and all that.
And you mentioned a lot of your colleagues are living downtown now.
Yeah, we do have a good bit of colleagues that are living downtown. And so, we're trying to encourage people to do that because it's just convenient with walking to work. And I think as you see more apartment buildings come up, brand new ones, they're filling up pretty quick.
Chris Pellegrino, Ryan Riley, we thank you so much. Millennial voters here in Connecticut making their voices heard this fall. Mark, it's going to be a fascinating election year because so many people have so many different opinions as to what the next governor should be doing.
All right, Dennis, it's certainly fascinating to hear what those millennials have to say. I like their positive spin on our capital city because, it's a great city and there's so many wonderful things happening there.
Absolutely, and it's going to be a big issue this fall because both candidates are going to be asked what are they going to do to keep the momentum in places like Hartford going into the next 4 years. Will there be cuts in the budget that will hurt the cities? People are going to want to know that, and it's important to businesses too as they try to relocate to Connecticut because many of them are going to also be looking for places where millennials want to live because they are the future workforce, Mark, like it or not.
All right, we don't count, Dennis. We are not millennials, that's for sure. Okay.
We do not.
Thank you very much. We'll see you again in about a half hour.